Despite President Donald Trump's aggressive stance to impose 100% tariffs on any nation challenging the dominance of the US dollar, Brics, the economic coalition of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, has shown no signs of yielding to Washington's pressure. Instead, Brics has displayed an even stronger and more unified response, accelerating its own economic growth and pushing ahead with a strategic plan aimed at minimizing its dependence on the Western-dominated financial system. With its resolve firmly set, Brics countries have been strengthening internal cooperation, diversifying their currencies, and establishing alternative economic frameworks to ensure their independence. While the United States continues its efforts to maintain global financial hegemony, the emerging economies of Brics have made significant strides, particularly in diversifying their trade and investments. The bloc has fostered greater internal trade, and as its reserves rise, the Brics nations have become even more cohesive, proving that they can thrive independently of Western influence. In fact, the actions of Brics members in the face of Trump's threats highlight that the bloc is not only resilient, but also capable of navigating a path that could redefine global economic leadership. Trump's 100% tariff threat, aimed at deterring countries from reducing their reliance on the US dollar for international trade, was an attempt to preserve the dominance of the US dollar, which has long been the backbone of global commerce. This strategy was supposed to serve as a warning to nations contemplating de-dollarization. However, what was intended as a bold warning ended up being a diplomatic failure for Washington. Instead of submitting to pressure, Russia, one of the bloc's most influential members, led a response that exposed the weaknesses in the US strategy. Russian officials not only ignored Trump's threats, but also reinforced Brics' commitment to a more independent and diversified global economy. This was made clear by Dmitry Peskov, the Russian presidential spokesperson, who publicly questioned Trump's understanding of Brics' long-term vision. Peskov's comments were direct and cutting, reinforcing the message that Brics was not only continuing with its goals, but was doing so without any regard for US intimidation. He openly mocked Trump's claim that Brics was planning to create a single currency, pointing out that Brics had no such plans. Instead, the bloc's real focus was on building joint investment platforms that could strengthen its economies and create a more balanced global financial system. This clarification effectively debunked the narrative that Brics was working against the dollar and shifted the focus to its actual goals: a diversified global financial ecosystem that does not rely on Washington's economic sway. This response from Russia and Brics made it abundantly clear that the emerging economies of the bloc are fully committed to their vision of reducing their reliance on the dollar-dominated financial system. Their overarching objective is not just about economic independence. It's about ensuring sustainable growth through new economic partnerships that are not subject to US political instability or external pressures. This goal is evident in the fact that Brics has seen an impressive 15% annual growth in joint investments, primarily focused on key sectors such as infrastructure, technology, and renewable energy. These investments are crucial for expanding Brics' global influence and represent a direct challenge to the financial dominance that the US has long attempted to maintain. Russia, in particular, has played a pivotal role in these developments, reaffirming its commitment to the bloc's long-term vision. The Russian leadership has made it clear that Trump's threats will not sway the bloc's plans. On the contrary, Brics is continuing to enhance its economic structure and diversify its financial systems, further cementing its position as a major global economic force. As Brics strengthens its economic foundations, it is becoming increasingly evident that the bloc is poised to reshape the global economic order. With one of the most robust financial systems in the bloc and significant control over valuable natural resources, Russia has successfully consolidated its leadership position within Brics and has become a leading force in resisting any destabilizing attempts from external powers, particularly the United States. Russia's leadership is also spearheading initiatives aimed at modernizing Brics' financial system, including embracing fintech and digital banking. These moves are designed to reduce dependence on the US dollar and make international transactions more efficient, ensuring that Brics countries are not subject to US interference. This marks a critical shift, not only for Russia, but for the entire Brics coalition, as it moves toward a future that is less reliant on traditional Western financial structures. The broader market response to Trump's tariff threats underscores the failure of the US strategy. Far from weakening the resolve of Brics, the threat served to unify the bloc even further. Brics countries, instead of backing down, became more determined to assert their independence and accelerate their efforts to reduce reliance on the dollar. These actions are not merely symbolic, they are backed by tangible steps. For example, Russia recently announced the creation of a Brics-exclusive investment fund designed to finance development projects in emerging economies. The initial capital for this fund is set at $50 billion, with the potential to grow to $100 billion, marking a significant turning point in the bloc's financial architecture. The creation of this fund is not just about financing projects. It's a direct response to the economic isolation efforts promoted by Western powers, reaffirming Brics' commitment to creating a more balanced and resilient global economy. This fund is a strategic move that will allow Brics to support infrastructure and technology development in emerging economies, providing them with the financial resources they need to grow without the influence of the West. At the heart of Brics' financial strategy is the idea of reducing dependence on the US dollar and increasing the use of national currencies in international trade. Over the past year, trade among Brics nations has increased by 20%, while foreign currency reserves have grown by 12%. These impressive figures are not merely a testament to Brics' growing financial power, but also a reflection of its broader strategy to build a more self-sufficient and resilient economic bloc. This shift is not just occurring internally within Brics, but is also having an impact on global trade dynamics. China and India are leading the charge in industrial and technological growth, while Brazil and South Africa are leveraging their vast natural resources to solidify their roles as key players in the global raw materials trade. Russia's strategic alliances within the energy sector have also strengthened its position, ensuring that energy prices remain competitive within the bloc. Brics' firm and unified response to Trump's threats has reverberated across the global geopolitical landscape. The bloc's commitment to moving forward with its plans, regardless of US pressure, sends a clear message to the rest of the world. Brics will not accept Western impositions. The strengthening of ties within Brics has dealt a direct blow to Washington's global influence, and Brics' economic and political reach now spans from Latin America to Africa and Asia. These strategic alliances have not only facilitated trade and investment, but also reinforced the political and economic integration of Brics countries and their partners. This growing cooperation presents a formidable challenge to the US-led global order. Brics is not just making statements, it is backing up its words with concrete actions. The bloc has recently signed new free trade agreements with emerging economies, further expanding its global network. These agreements are not only facilitating trade and investment, but also helping to undermine the dollar's dominance in global markets. These alliances are strengthening Brics' influence on the global stage, making it clear that the bloc is a formidable force in reshaping the global economic order. The big question now is whether Washington can stop a bloc that only grows stronger with each challenge. Brics' strategic vision and its growing influence signal that it is reshaping the global economy while the US struggles to keep pace. The US may find it increasingly difficult to maintain its economic and political dominance in the face of Brics' rising power. The future of global finance is being reshaped by Brics, and it seems increasingly likely that a new financial order, less reliant on the US dollar, is on the horizon. Will Washington be able to stop Brics' momentum, or is this new financial order inevitable? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive into these crucial global developments.